Drop a like on the video in the next 5 seconds if you're looking forward to Chapter 3, Season 2. The Imagined Order and Cube Queen have been defeated, the island has been successfully flipped, we are now stuck on the Chapter 3 island. Welcome to the home of the Seven. The Chapter 3 storyline has commenced and things are starting to move pretty fast, with a huge war between the Seven and the Imagined Order just on the horizon. With Chapter 3 now here, some of the storyline's biggest mysteries have finally been solved, but to fully understand the Chapter 3 storyline and the future of Fortnite, we need to go all the way back to where we left off at the end of Chapter 2. The Cube Queen had finally got defeated. Her plan of taking over the island and turning it into a huge sideways portal has been destroyed as the Seven came in last minute to pretty much save the day. But who got us in this mess? Dr. Sloan and the Imagined Order. We start off Chapter 3 by spectating Dr. Sloan and a trapped John Jones inside the bridge. Dr. Sloan had captured John Jones as revenge for rebelling against the Imagined Order all the way back in Season 5, where he turned his back on them as he didn't agree with their regime anymore. Their regime is to control the 0 point and the loot. Luckily, before anything bad happens, we're shocked by a surprise visit from none other than the Foundation. He's here to save John Jones, as he had promised the Foundation he would take him to Geno and the sisters, who we find out a bit more about in a minute. So the bridge is now falling apart due to the war that's going on above them, and this is where the scientist and visitor come to save the loopers. Us, just before the cube monsters get to us. The Foundation manages to rotate the island, causing the Cube Queen's plan to be destroyed, and we're all saved. This whole flipping of the island we thought was pretty unusual, but it'd literally been teased to us all the way back in Season 5. We find out that Reality Zero isn't just one island, it's actually a huge circle with the 0 point in the centre. That's where the bridge, the Imagined Order's headquarters, is located, and was actually originally built by the Seven thousands of years ago to protect the 0 point. That's how the Foundation knew how to flip the island. After all of this, what happened to Dr. Sloan and the Imagined Order? Don't worry, they're still alive. You're gonna see what happens to them in a minute. We wash up on a desert island and bam, we're in Chapter 3. The Foundation's plan is to destroy the Imagined Order and to leave the loop forever. The Foundation specifically says many other threats will come to the island in search for the 0 point and its power. As we discover more of the island, more of the storyline's mysteries get solved. Each rock in the sanctuary represents each member of the Seven. We got the Foundation, obviously the leader, we got the scientist, the visitor, Paradigm, the origin, and the two sisters, who, if you remember correctly, are currently missing, and the Foundation is trying to find them. Not soon after that, as we explore more of the island, we find mysterious tape recordings left by the scientist, which explain to us the history of the Seven and the background behind the group. The scientist suggests if the Imagined Order manage to counterattack the Seven before they can recover, it will all be over and the Seven will be done for good. So he goes and asks Paradigm to completely overlook our complicated past to help them again. But why is there beef? If you hadn't noticed, in the recent trailers to do with the Seven, Paradigm hasn't been present at all. That is because she was the one that caused all this mess all the way back in Season 8 by exposing the 0 point to destroy the monster. She was once the gatekeeper of the 0 point in the vault, which the Foundation wasn't too happy with her doing. After leaving the 0 point exposed and escaping in the robot, she is now public enemy number 1 in the Foundation's eyes, as she'd betrayed the Seven and what they stand for. So yeah, Paradigm is Singularity, the creator of the robot. Paradigm's description says her alliance is also unknown, even though she looks like she's part of the Seven. That is because after being Paradigm, she then became the Singularity and started up her own alliance, splitting away from the Seven. The Paradigm wanted to be the 0 point's bodyguard, but the Foundation didn't want that, so she left the Seven and became Singularity to do the job herself. As we know, like I said, she escaped in the robot, but not soon after starting this chapter, the Seven have finally received a ping from Paradigm, who is currently in space in the robot, meaning she could be arriving back on the island just in time for the war against the Imagined Order. They're gonna need her help. The Imagined Order have made their way onto the map after the disaster at the end of Chapter 2. It was only literally because the 7 saved them again and got them out of all the trouble they found themselves in. And after being stuck in the headquarters underneath the map, they used old equipment and drills to get themselves back onto the surface of the new map, the home of the 7. The Imagined Order have now set up their own base in Covert Cavern on the other side of the map where a huge drill can be found. But what is it for? It's now a race over who can control the island first and most importantly, the 0 point. After the ping from Paradigm, the scientist has been sneakily working behind the Foundation's back, who obviously doesn't want anything to do with her, and secretly getting in contact with her in space, and sent a rocket on a mission out of hatch number 1 to try and find her. Strangely enough, this mission failed, and it wasn't up until later we found out the rocket's mission was sabotaged by the Imagined Order. The 7 need Paradigm back and her expertise for this war. Rocket number 2 launched, and again, the mission failed, but rocket number 3 was a success and we got in contact with Paradigm. It's now our job to guide her back home before the Imagined Order progress too much. But it might be a little too late for that. Earthquakes can be felt across the whole map. That's right, the Imagined Order have begun drilling heavily and are currently causing cracks and fissures to form all over the map. But what are they looking for? Earlier in the season, they uncovered remains of the Devourer. Are they looking for another Devourer under the map to help them in this war? Bear in mind, Paradigm is on her way back. She left in Season 8 in the robot. She is more than likely going to be returning in the robot for this war. That's the storyline up until now, but what's going to happen in the future? For right now, all we can do is go off of leaks and hints Epic Games have given us. Season 2 looks like it's going to be the reality war between the 7 and the Imagined Order, and probably quite a few other entities. Think of Season 1 that we're currently in like a build up to the fight. This seems all too familiar. Back in Chapter 2 Season 1, we saw the build up towards the fight between the Ego and Alter. These two alliances then changed to Ghost and Shadow, and in Season 2, they had the big fight. The same thing is happening this chapter. That is because the loop recreates events similar to the previous chapter. For instance, Chapter 1 Season 4 was about superheroes, Chapter 2 Season 4 was about superheroes. Do you see what I mean? That's the effect of the loop. In terms of the storyline, the Foundation at the beginning of this season said we will for sure be encountering more threats to the island due to people wanting the power of the 0 point. But what can be certain is that the 7 are going to have a hard time of getting hold of the 0 point and wanting to stop the loop. When the 7 finally have control of the loop, that means that will bring an end to Fortnite. The loop won't occur anymore because that's what they want to stop. We've seen attacks from the Monster, Galactus, the Cube Queen and a ton more, and it looks like Midas will be making a return here very, very soon. There's been quite a few hints about him making a return, and at some point during this chapter we can expect another collab season, maybe Season 4. Last time we got the Marvel season in Season 4, and this time it's hinted supposedly to be a Star Wars themed season. I just wonder how the map will shape up. That is everything we know for Chapter 3, the storyline so far and what we can expect for the future. I've picked out this video especially for you on screen here. I think you'll like it. I'll see you over there.